everybody, and welcome to the Slam Show. The Slam Show is the show that defines everything about the Rolex Grand Slam of show jumping. I'm Meredith Michaels-Beerbaum, and I'm back as your host 1 year after we launched our first Slam Show. In this episode, we will look back at some of the exciting moments of the Dutch Masters. We have a personal interview with Steve Guerdat. We will investigate the CHIO Aachen Scientist Circle, which works for the well-being of the horse, and I will give you my picks for the one to watch in the Rolex Grand Prix. But first, let's look back at the Rolex Grand Prix of s-Hertogenbosch. It was a truly hard course to ride. Only 3 riders managed clear rounds, and each of them are in the jump-off fighting for the top spot on the podium. Who could it be? First to go, Yuri Mansur and Miss Blue St. Blue Farm. As first to go, you have to decide, how much do I risk? How fast do I ride? I want to put the pressure on the other 2, but I never know what they're going to do, so I have to try my very best to stay clear. And you can see that's what Yuri is doing. He has nice tight turns, but he's not pushing it to the limit. He's maintaining his horse. He's trying to secure that clear round with a tight enough time to put the pressure on the others behind him. She's jumping very well, and his plan looks like it's going to be just perfect. Oh, until the last. You can see the disappointment on his face. Next to go, Scott Brash and Hello Shadura Lady. This is a fantastic combination. Scott has had amazing success with this very fast mare in multiple 5-star competitions. You can see that Scott is not taking any tactic at all. He's riding as fast as he can. He's going for the win. He's sure that if he can complete a clear round with this mare, the pressure will be on Simone, and perhaps he'll make a mistake. Having a fabulous jump-off round with this mare, he takes a little risk, and oh, it catches up to him at that vertical. So he now knows that he has one down, but he's sure he's faster than Yuri. But what will Simone do is the question. Simone, as last to go, has a decision to make. Should he ride fast, just in case he has one down, and then if he does have one down, he still could possibly beat Scott Brash's time? Or does he opt to go very slow and wide and try for a secure, clear round? The problem with that tactic is if one rail falls, he will be third. He'll be even slower than Yuri. But that's his decision. And he's made the decision, we can clearly see, to take no risk at all, make the turns very, very wide, and go for that clear round. But there's a certain amount of risk in that ride. Would he have time faults? Is he too far out on each turn? As he's coming to the last fence, we see the time ticking away, but the horse jumps it clear, and we look at the results. He's won it. He's won it with 13 seconds more than the others. Unfortunately, we will only be seeing one of those riders competing today in the Rolex Grand Prix, Scott Brash, who is celebrating 10 years of his Grand Slam victory. Yuri Mansur had unfortunate luck and lost his mare due to a colic a few weeks ago. Our deepest condolences. And Simone Delestre has opted not to ride here because his horse has no shoes, therefore cannot have studs, and does not want to ride on the grass turf. He has said that he will try for next year to get that going and functioning well. In the meantime, I'm happy to welcome Steve Guerdat. Steve, you've ridden 40 out of 41 slams. That's incredible. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I think, those are the most important classes in our sport. I love above everything, and especially here in Aachen, this is, the class of the year. I don't think one day in the year where this doesn't go through my mind. I haven't won it yet, so it's really on my bucket list, and I'm very motivated this year again with my amazing mare dynamics, and yeah, let's try.
Yeah, great. We'll be cheering for you. And the one event you missed, I heard, was because of an injury.
I had a knee surgery in December, just before Christmas, and then my back was always a little bit an issue in my career. I already had a surgery there 17 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it got bad again, and I really wanted to make the qualification for the World Cup final in Switzerland, in Basel. So I pushed a little bit too much, and I got back from Gothenburg in bad shape, went to the hospital, and they had to operate emergency.
Oh.
And was exactly the same operation as 17 years ago, but obviously I felt that I got a little bit older, so the recovery was much more difficult and much longer than I expected.
One of the things I'm sure you had more time for was your family.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you a little bit about that. How is it now to be a father? You have a 4-year-old daughter. How has your life changed? How do you juggle the two things?
You used to run everywhere with horses, no?
Yeah.
This is you have very busy days. Every day of your life is going around horses, so you're used to be busy since always. But when a kid comes, it's not something that you can take on top of what you already do every day. So you have to kind of get a new organization and rethink things to how you're gonna do things. And if you want to be a good dad, then you have to take time. And we had to organize a little bit different at home. And my priority is still being successful in my sport.
Yeah.
But my daughter is there, and being a good father is also a priority in my life. And I'm trying to be good in both of these things.
Well, respect to you as a father. I know my great pleasure has been being a mother, and I've gone a new road. You know, you're still competing at the very, very top, but I'm enjoying seeing my daughter come along. And in fact, I was wondering, she is now going, for instance, this year to the Pony European Championships. Yeah. Did you yourself ride the Europeans for either children's or juniors or ponies?
Yeah. Well, obviously I followed Brian, and see that she's been very successful, and I think it's fantastic to see, anyway, I'm very excited when I see new generation coming from people that I know, that I admire in the sport before, like you and Marcus, and then to see the daughter going in the footstep is very nice, because this is our life, no? And at the end, I don't care what my daughter's gonna be willing to do, but what I really hope is that she's gonna have a passion. You know, I think it saves you from a lot of troubles, because
it's a gift, right?
Yeah, because it takes time. Obviously, when you're driven by something, then you know why you wake up, you know why you go to bed, and you have something to look for, to work for. I would love if it's as a rider or horses be a passion, but also if it's something else. But that's the only thing I'm really hope for, is that she's gonna have a passion like your kid has, and I think that that gives you a lot more opportunity and bring you on a safer road to have a healthy life.
You're going to ride the Rolex Grand Prix in a few minutes. Everybody's going to be at the utmost of ability, and you're going to have a hard fight, but we'll be cheering for you. So
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
And here we are now to discuss a new project that is looking into the well-being of the horse, CHIO Scientist Circle. It has been developed by Professor Winter along with Birgit Rosenberg, and it's a really new, exciting project. Can you tell me a little bit about this project?
We started in 2023 with our first examination of the horses here in Aachen. This year it's really very hot, and we are really very interested what happened with the horses. Our idea is just to check the horses in the stabling.
Your idea is basically to learn more about how the horse feels in an environment that is not his home, so at a horse show facility like Aachen, and then be able to tell us as riders, grooms, what we can do to improve how our horse feels, how comfortable they are in the stable, and that would hopefully improve their performance?
We first check their home stables, what they are doing in the home stables when they are there in the resting period. And then we check this with an AI camera. We also check the cortisol, the hormone glucocorticoid. With all these information, we got clear information about the well-being of the horses at home stable. And then we compare it with the situation in Aachen. And then after that, we take another examination at home stable, so we get a clear information about the situation at all.
And just tell me, what do you think in the future you can learn from this? What are your hopes that we learn? And how can we as riders and grooms taking care of our horses use this information to better the lives of our horses?
I think one of the really very important things is that to get more information about the horses, to look at the horse, for example, with AI cameras. The next step is just to check with digital sensors about, for example, the air in the stable, the dust in the stable, and all these situations. This makes stress for the horse.
I can confirm that, because when I was competing myself, the goal of me and my whole team was to make our horses as comfortable as that we could find. And I know that Aachen is like a 5-star hotel. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me to be here.
And after our discussion with Professor Winter, I am now joined by the legendary dressage rider Isabell Werth. Isabell's been working in this program to discover new aspects and ways she can improve her horse's well-being. Isabell, tell me a little bit about this program. How have you been involved, and how can that help the welfare of your horse?
So we started, I guess, 2 years already, 2 years ago, and last year we had this program really more improved already, and started with the cameras and with the system in the stables. So we got really more facts about the behavior and the well-being during the shows. So it helped a lot to underline our feeling already. You know, we have a lot of discussions, and in this time we need more proofs and facts to show the people what we are really doing and what happens behind the scenes, and that our horses really relax in the stables, and that they really feel comfortable.
How does that work? Does it track actually what your horse is doing?
Yes, you can follow your horse by app, and you can see what happens in the stables, and if there's something special, or if it's noisy or some. So this is good to know, and it helps the grooms, of course, when they go in the evening. It gives a good feeling that if something is wrong, they get informed, and that's also a super program.
So it's a little bit like the baby camera, right?
Yeah, right. So you can go for dinner, and you're really relax. Yeah.
That's very interesting to know. You know, I remember the days when Shutterfly would get upset because there were fireworks sometimes at the show.
Yeah.
What do you suggest in a situation like that? The noise was really bothersome to him.
That's difficult for a lot of horses. Some horses don't care about it, but some horses are really awake and they get a bit scared. So the grooms, most of the time, the grooms are the riders and the stables to relax them and to
I remember my groom, she played classical music loud.
For
that
example,
worked, in
when
fact,
we have New Year, we have always a lot of music in the stables and the lights on for the fireworks, that they are not really scared about.
So I know where to find you on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thank you,
We're always in
Isabell.
the stable. Thank you.
It's been great. Here we are in front of the very famous winners board, where you can see all the previous winners of the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen. I've been given the challenging task of picking a few favorites, ones to watch. Here they are. Richard Fogel taking his revenge after 2024 and his incredible United touch. Scott Brash in super shape these past few months, and celebrating his 10-year Rolex Grand Slam victory. Martin Fuchs, always a strong one at the majors, with an incredible string of horses. And Sophie Hinners, the German female sensation, who's showed amazing consistency over the last few months with wonderful horses at 5-star events. At the Dutch Masters, we interviewed one of the top grooms taking care of the horses. And now we're going to turn to one of the best owners in the sport. I have with me here Robin Parsky. Welcome.
Thank you, Meredith. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you with us, but I want to hear a little bit about your history. I want to hear about how you started as an owner, and I know you were a rider, so tell me a little bit about that.
I started following my father going to Santa Anita racetrack because he owned racehorses. Then I said to him, I want to ride horses. So that's the rest of it is history. I did ride quite a bit as a child in Pasadena in California. And I got very interested in owning show jumping horses, particularly. I'm most interested in show jumping.
Well, tell me a little bit about being an owner. How has your role changed? I mean, obviously, now you're on the sidelines. And how do you deal with having, I know you have multiple riders and very many horses. How do you shuffle all those balls?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, but it seems to be working because we've become a global sport.
Yes, that's right.
And that's why, because we travel so much. We go to all different venues, and I've met so many wonderful people, including owners that are from different countries, and we share information, and then we share information about horses, riders, what we want to do with our careers with them and what they want us to do. And then it's just evolved from there, where I've been able to join them in some of their really special horses, and they've joined me in my special horses. It's been a pleasure, and I've learned how they go about buying them in Europe and breeding, etc. So it's been a great experience.
I know as a rider that during my best years in the sport, one of the most important things was having great support from a great owner. And you've definitely been that. You've had multiple wins, especially even at the Grand Slam events for Rolex. Can you tell me a little bit about those wins? What were they like? And what are your most favorite events?
I will say that being here in Aachen is the most special time for me. And I came with my husband and Kent Farrington with my special mare Gazelle. We were very excited about how well she was doing. She had won the Grand Prix of Geneva. So we sat in the stands here and threw 3 big rounds. And when we won, we thought it was the most thrilling time of our life.
We thank you all for your support in the industry and also for your time here today. And I'm wishing you the best of luck in the future.
Thank you, Meredith. Great to be here.
What an incredible journey it's been. Thank you for joining me on the Slam Show here today in Aachen. In just a few minutes' time, we will start the Rolex Grand Prix, where the best horses and riders in the world will be competing for the crown. This is where dreams can be made or broken. But don't forget, the journey continues. In just a few weeks' time, in CSIO Spruce Meadows Masters in Calgary. They will be celebrating their 50th year anniversary, and we will be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Grand Slam winner Scott Brash. Enjoy.